So, you've probably read the title and thought, what do you mean? What are the dangers of a comfortable life? Now, I've been thinking about this lately and I just wanted to share my insights and thoughts about this. There is a huge decrease in testosterone levels in men over the recent 60 or so years. Now, the question that I'm asking myself is, how did that happen? How did testosterone levels drop down so significantly over a pretty short time span? I've researched this a little bit and came to my own conclusions. The problem lies that everything has gotten way more comfortable, in my opinion. Now, this might sound stupid or cringe or weird or whatever. Just wanna, put this out there. The thing is, in the past, when you wanted to get some food, you had to first walk to a place. Maybe you had a car back then, but you still had to go out and actually go to that place. And then you ate and you went back. Or when you went to go like shopping for clothes, you had to go out. People were generally more active. Even at work, there was a lot more manual labor than it is today. And of course, manual labor can be more dangerous than, labor that is done by machines. Yes, of course. I don't disagree with that. I'm just saying the facts here. People were more active in the past. Now, of course, this doesn't apply to everyone. This is just something that came out of statistics and findings, and it's just a fact, people were more active in the past. Today, when you're hungry, you can literally just go on your phone, make a few clicks, and in about 30 minutes, the food is at your house. In the meantime, you can, watch a Netflix series that you've been watching and you continue watching it, and then the food arrives and then you have to stand up, take the food, but then you can sit down again and continue watching this Netflix series that you've been watching. Now, of course, this is a very sedentary lifestyle, but a sedentary lifestyle with little to no movement means that you will over time get fat. Or if you don't get fat, you will get chubby. This is nothing new. It's logical. You won't be ripped if you live this kind of lifestyle, of course. It's use common sense here. And if you're living a sedentary lifestyle, your testosterone levels decrease because you don't fucking move. If you would move and do exercise and you would be active, your testosterone levels don't decrease. That's what a few studies have shown. When you exercise, your testosterone levels rise. If you don't exercise, those testosterone levels they will decrease. And so, in the last few decades, everything has gotten way more comfortable and way more convenient and generally way more easier, so that it's very easy for you to instantly get what you want. And the problem with that is, of course, like we already said, you live a sedentary life. And if you live a sedentary life, this just puts your hormones off balance, because humans, evolutionary, were not meant to be sedentary and sit around all day and consume content that easily spikes their dopamine. This is not something that we've been designed for. And so we're basically, kind of manipulating the code of evolution for what it means to be a human. You're not meant to sit around all day. You're not meant to consume content all day. You're not meant to eat unhealthy, fast processed, sugary foods all day, because that is not really what you were designed for and not really what the people had. Now, of course, you can say, but if we have it, we can consume it. We've come so far as a species together. We can afford ourselves that. Yes, of course, we've gotten so far as a species that we don't even need to leave our house anymore and we can still live. In the past, this was unimaginable. If you wouldn't leave your house, you'd be dead because you wouldn't get any food, you wouldn't get any water, you would just die. Today, you can easily, well, maybe not easily, but you can live without ever leaving your house, which is kind of crazy if you really think about it. Now, another problem when you live a sedentary life or a very comfortable life is you won't grow. I know this sounds weird, but you will always stay the same. And most people that live this kind of life, you can see they are very unhappy. They might not tell you they're unhappy, but they are unhappy, because imagine you are living this life. Maybe you're living this life right now. Are you really happy? Now, of course, happiness comes from within and not from external sources. But how can you be happy as a human being if you just sit around all day and do nothing with your life and just exist in a world where you can have everything at any time? The huge problem that arises from this is sperm count is expected to hit 0 in 2045. Can you imagine this? in about 20 years, sperm count for Western men hits 0. That means that most men in 2045 will not be able to make children of their own. I mean, let that sink in. Imagine you're living in 2045 and you're not able to make a child with your wife, and yet you really want to. And now you need to rely on another man's sperm to allow you to have this opportunity of having a child. But your child isn't from you, it's from a man that doesn't have a sperm count of 0. It's something I've read, and I've been really surprised when I read this. I mean, I told myself, well, this can't be. In 20 years, it's not gonna hit 0. But then, as I kept reading and kept researching for this video, I came to the conclusion that it very well could be. And I think that is something that we have to avoid at all costs, because we literally put humanity and the future of humanity at stake by just, living comfortable lives and eating unhealthy stuff, putting plastics into our bodies and being very sedentary. And this is a huge problem. At first, at a minor scale, this doesn't seem like a huge problem, but over time, this really does. Yeah, it really threatens the future of humanity and where we will end up. So now we've talked about the problem. How do we start implementing things in our life that will avoid this, this future dystopia of not being able to make humans anymore? Well, first of all, it starts by analyzing your life. Just analyze your life. What are you currently doing in your life? Are you sitting around all day, or are you an active person? What foods do you eat? What pills do you take? Just analyze your life. What are you actually consuming in your life? What type of content are you watching? Are you still watching porn or all this garbage basically? Analyze that. And once you've discovered kind of the bad things and the things that you know are bad, for example, if you know you've been sitting around too much lately, or if you generally sit around too much and you're not really an active person, go outside more, do more exercise, just even go for a 20-minute walk around the block. I don't care, it doesn't matter, just at least go outside every day. If you always sit at home and do nothing all day, watch TV, eat garbage fast food, consume content that you just watch to kind of filter out the negative thoughts in your life, that's not a life that you want to live. And if you keep living like this, you won't change. You have to do things that you've never done before to get to places you've never been before. You may have heard this already, but it's absolutely true. If you keep doing the same things over and over again, like an average person would, you will always be average because you're not changing anything in your life. If you change something in your life, like for example just going outside, walking more, that eventually transforms into maybe running around the block even, or maybe you work out then even more, and so you will be in a more physical condition, you will be more ripped, and that has a butterfly effect. You will start to eat healthier, you will start to not eat that much fast food anymore, you will start to live a more productive life, and of course that kind of starts off everything. Like, this is like a butterfly effect, Once you do like one small change in your life, over time this has a huge impact in your whole life. And it's something as small as going for a walk, or not eating fast food today, but doing something healthy. It really is a butterfly effect, and if you do it for a long enough time, you will start living a better life. And after a while, you won't be a degenerate anymore. And, the purpose of this video was to kind of show you why living in too much comfort can really be a bad thing. Now, of course, we are now living in very comfortable times. At least in the Western world, there aren't really that many wars. We have a really comfortable life. We can really be grateful about that. But the problem is when you are living a too comfortable life, where you, like we said before, can just sit around all day, this can be a huge problem, not only for your health, but also for the future of humanity, because your testosterone levels may decrease significantly, like we already said, puts the future humans at cost. So our actions today obviously have a huge impact on the humans of tomorrow. Yeah, so we should absolutely actively avoid that, so that it doesn't come to this fucking dystopia of where we're not even able to make children anymore, and that's a huge problem. Just start being more active, start doing more things, start learning more things. Don't live a sedentary life. Try out new things. It doesn't matter if they're gonna work out in the end or not. Just gain experience in something. I'm also not an expert in this yet. I'm also discovering and learning new things all the time. But it's important that you actually go out in this world, explore it, just live your life, not just at home, but also in the real world. That's it. Until next time.